Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Faith, for those who are new, and Rachel is somewhere around setting up the camera.
I'm the one setting up the camera
Yes, she's our camera person.
because when I'm not part-time, I'm usually an engineer.
Yes guys, how have you been? We're back. We're happy to have you around. And yeah, Rachel, sit down.
So,
Always.
hi. I have sat down.
Yes.
What did
Thank
you want me
you.
to do?
To now stay here.
I am here.
Okay.
What
How have
else?
you been?
I've been good. What more?
Give me some money.
I don't have. What will you do?
Why?
Because I'm broke.
You don't look like you don't
We
have
can however rob a bank if you're willing.
Well,
Okay,
guys,
I hope
alafu
I've
bank
set up
ibiwe.
I hope I've set up the camera well. Guys, we are so sorry. We're gonna learn. I hope you're getting good at this. I noticed there was some noise, wind noise. That is what we are avoiding. Yeah? Bye, Mama Mora. So, hey. Oh yeah, these are my notes for today. You see, I have to refer to something because memory. I don't remember everything all the time. So what are we talking about today?
We're talking about toxic parents.
Toxic parents.
The
Toxic.
toxicity.
La toxica.
Yeah.
Muzazi toxic kabisa. You know,
Ni yule mzazi amefanya nini?
you see, that is not a very easy topic, especially in Africa, because African parents don't think they can be toxic. They don't believe there's anything like that. In fact, you could be disrespecting them, yeah, when you're talking about them being toxic. Anywho, karibu sana to the channel. My name is Rakeri. Mumewelcomeiwa here
My
by
name is Faye.
Faye.
Yes.
In fact, we call her Faye, not Faith.
Yeah,
So,
I'm
Faye.
Yes.
Ukienda club huwezi kosa dem anaitwa Faye. Kadem kapeng.
Sijui nini.
Kadem kapeng kazuri sijui nini. Ndovu kuu na King Kaka. I remember that song. I'm always singing that song. Faye
There is some
wewe.
truth in that.
Faye wewe.
Kuna ukweli.
Because
Aki wewe Faye.
kwa kila squad ya madema kukosangi kadem kanaitwa Faye, kadem kapeng sijui what. God, how can I forget that song? Next time I'm going to sing it so well. So yeah, so we're back with another hot topic. And today tumeona tuguzie wazazi kidogo. Kuna vile huwa wanatupeleka mbio sana. Wanatupeleka mbio ya 200 miles per hour. Oh my God, when we can only do 50.
Or 30.
Yeah. So you know, the first question we have to ask ourselves is for even a question of toxic parents, yeah, arising. What is the opposite of a good parent? And first of all, why do kids need a good parent? Yeah, why is it an issue that a toxic parent is not good for a child? Yeah, and why does a kid need a good parent? That is a very good question that we should be asking ourselves. And by the way, I have notes, as you can see. I made notes because I don't want to forget.
There are some important points that need to be articulated just the way they are.
Yeah. So I have some 2 points here to note. Yeah, Tonyanili.
Give us
the ones
some
that I
wisdom.
took. We both took. Did we both take or I took?
You took.
I took. I took it.
Give us some wisdom.
You're like that person that went for a grammar test, English test, and the question was asking, what is the opposite of think?
Thought.
So he came outside saying, hey, that test was hard. we were asked the opposite of think. So I sat there and thought and thought and thought.
Huh?
I wrote thinked.
After thoughting. After all the thoughts.
You thought in the right grammar, you wrote nonsense.
It's what comes out is kwa ground vitu ni different.
Kwa ground vitu ni tofauti sana 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 sana.
Hizi notes una what's happening? What's not happening when you may lose?
I have lost. Hey, I have lost.
You don't remember
You see,
where
I'm
you
even
started?
losing my brain. I'm losing my thoughts. I'm even losing grammar, everything. I have lost. I'm losing everything.
Give us some wisdom, yo.
So now, this is it that I have to say. So first we have to ask ourselves, why do kids need good parents? Yeah, because you know we have to ask ourselves a very serious question as to why it would even be a topic of concern that there could be toxic parents. And we are not here to attack anyone. We are not here to attack our African moms. Tunawajua nyinyi, the first thing an African mom learns is taekwondo.
Tasikia sasa wameanza kutuita toxic and you are just disciplining yourself.
That is not what we mean, by the way. The thing about toxic is different. It's not what you people are thinking. So we're gonna rush this up because I'm still looking for my notes. I want to know where to begin. So the reason why we are saying a kid requires a good parent is because later, whatever way a child was brought up by their caregiver, by their caregiver matters a lot when they become adults, okay? And the effects of having a toxic parent to a child really is you find now there's adults who are, they have low self-esteem, they are not confident, they are, to some extent, they even get suicidal, they get into drugs, they become, when we were discussing attachments, you remember when we talked about insecure attachment, it is brought about by the caregiving that child got when they were younger. So, oh my God, my camera skills are just overlapping. Hey, today is not a very nice day. We are starting on the ooh, we are getting there. Very nice, very nice. So thank you so much, our camera lady, for being so resourceful. All right, so why do kids need a nice parent? Okay, for me, these are my notes. Number one, a child's early experiences since birth or even before birth can shape their learning capabilities, behavior, physical and mental health. That is basically, what happens. Yeah. So a child is an empty book. Yeah. When they come to the world, you're the one feeding them with the experience. We are talking about parents because they are the first people that, take care of this child. And it's very important what you feed in this child because somehow it's what they are going to turn out to be. So now, a brain is built from bottom up, like 0 or upwards, yeah? It is literally empty, preparing to be shaped by life experiences. So that is now another reason why a child should be taken care of by nice parents. So when a child is emotionally and socially supported, it affects, and it brings about the effect of a more positive and productive child, They are more positive in life. They are not always scared. They are not always worried. They are not thinking about survival. They are just living their lives and they are happy.
And being children.
Yeah, I don't know kama mimi niko kwa kamera vizuri. Niko ndani. Okay.
You're inside.
Yes. So, some people. Anyway, when a child is preoccupied with fear, yeah, or anxiety, they might be intelligent, but they'll have problems learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. When a child is scared all the time because their parent is very strict, they don't even let the child be themselves. A small mistake, they are punished harshly. That child is going to be scared, and the fear is always gonna come before anything else they try to do. Yeah, they are gonna. By the way, that thing manifests when you're older. You find yourself you have issues with things like stage fright. Stage fright, I think it's something that I don't think anybody fears talking to people really. I think it's because of your experiences that you feel so scared. That you're talking to all these people. They're just human beings. You can talk to them really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy. So excessive prolonged stress early in life is associated with later on. Yeah. It's associated later on with issues like bad behavior, physical and mental health issues. Yeah. Issues with dealing with emotions. Yeah, they are not able to control their emotions. They have issues with attachment with their friends. They have, or their relationships. So you find they are not a stable child. They are not happy. They are struggling to just get through a day. Yeah, which is not fair for anybody. And I believe that's why kids deserve good parents.
I have a question. What causes parents to be toxic though? Because it all starts with you as a parent.
Yeah.
What causes parents?
The reason
toxicity?
some parents are not even aware that they are toxic, and that is where I believe the generational curse thing comes in. That even their parents, they must have been. If you go and research, you will find they were toxic to them.
Yeah.
And now nobody brought up the issue, yeah, of telling them, this is bad, this is bad. The parent that brought them up told them, yeah, that is okay, you can do that. Yet it's toxic, yeah. I believe it's that. Others are just really abusive.
Others
They are just violent. I don't know why they are violent. Others
mental health issues.
yeah.
Also.
Others have mental health issues, and I believe if somebody is so mental to a point of causing a child harm, even if they are not beating them up, they can torture them mentally.
Yeah.
So such a person should not be left with a child really, because now there's no point. It's like bringing up someone who will come over and be self-destructive and just destroy their lives for no apparent reason, and just their life is just gonna go. Yet it could have been prevented. Yeah. And what else can make parents toxic?
Emotional trauma.
Yeah, if they went through some trauma. But you see, funny thing, in the end of the day, yeah, it's just a parent who has issues already.
Yeah.
Themselves, they have problems.
Because actually parents they project what they know to the kids.
They have problems, and most probably they don't know.
Yeah.
Or they are those very hard-headed, tough-headed parents who cannot listen to anybody. Yeah? They think they are right all the time.
Like those narcissistic
Even when they are a bit
parents.
toxic, they think it's okay. I don't even know what to say. Funny thing, I don't think there's a parent that wakes up and decides I'm gonna be toxic to my child.
I honestly, it's about how they learned to survive by themselves, and they teach that to their kids. Yeah?
And there's things they misunderstood.
Yeah.
But now the question is, are they willing to be corrected?
Yes,
are they willing?
and
Are
no.
they open? Are they open? Because some parents are, by the way. There's some parents that you'll talk to later when you're a grown person now, and you tell them, by the way, mom, dad, I don't like the way you do things, this and this and this, because of this and this and this. Anyway, I think we are gonna get to that. So I got a few tips. Yeah, I did my research here and there, and there's some few tips that I got from some online people. So they were saying, children come through you, they don't come from you. Okay. the way nature is set, it's that you know you give birth. You have to give birth to your children, so they have to come through you.
Yeah.
But they're not yours. Like, they don't come. God decided to form them in your womb to begin with. Yeah, of course you're passing the genetics and all that, but in the end of the day, you're creating a new life that is independent of you.
Yeah.
They can breathe by themselves. They can eat, digest food by themselves. They can see the road and walk by themselves.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But now there's now a reason why you are their parent. And by the way, you don't have to keep singing to them that, I'm your parent, I'm your mother, I'm your father. Yeah, you are. Even the government knows. You took me from the hospital. It was written there.
You conceived me.
Now that
from
thing of
stage
you
1.
wanting to keep telling kids that you're their parent, who doesn't know that is a job you did well, awesome, and you passed at it. Now you have the child here with you. Okay? Yeah. The children are not your property.
Yeah.
They are not your property. They are not your future investment. You'll be disappointed if you live like that. It's better to let a child be themselves.
Yep.
Let the child be what they are meant to be without your
Don't
crazy expectations. Yeah? Children are, the minute you have a baby, yeah, you're supposed to understand that as much as you're taking care of them, they also have a life.
Yeah.
They have a body of their own. They can only tell you which part of the body is itching. You cannot know which part of the body is
They're
itching.
like their helpers.
You're supposed to be a friend. Yeah. So the next point I wrote was, it's cruel. Yeah. It's cruel to be overly controlling to a child. Oh, you want to read my notes?
I was doing the Mr. Bean thing.
Yeah. It's cruel to overly be controlling to a child. Like, you're always ensuring that they are dependent on you. You don't want them to be free. It's like whatever they have to do, and it's from a young age. It's so annoying, especially kids 2 years, 1 year old. You're just trying to make them do what you want.
Protective. That's for your insecure parents. They're parents who are just naturally insecure and very protective. And you don't allow your child to be free to make decisions. You want to make decisions for them.
Yes.
You want to decide who are the people that are going to be their friends, the relationships, and the decisions, everything. You just want
the
to
toxicity in some parents shows so much that some African parents, I'm sorry to say African, but I know it happens somewhere else, but Africa, I think it's because we are associated with poverty for so long. Parents overfeed their kids.
Overfeed?
Yeah,
Food.
they overfeed their kids, calling it love, when in reality you are damaging these kids' health. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Overfeeding is not good anywhere for anybody. You're supposed to give kids the food that they need. Yeah?
Lakini kama bado kanakula.
Sasa ni wewe unafaa kukasaidia kukontrol, ama unakapatia. You give the kid something that is not gonna make them fat. You see, when you become fat, that is something else. Or malnourished. Yeah? We want the kid to be healthy.
Yeah.
Not fat, not too weak. Yeah? Yeah. So there's overfeeding kids at ni kababa.
Kababa unataka kukula pizza?
Kababa utakula pizza. Sayo kameangusha hapo ugali. Kama kamuluya.
Yeah. Alafu mtoto hapo ameanza kukua overweight, and then you're like, kababa amesema.
Now they start getting bullied in school. Something you could have
Kids
controlled.
have to deal with things that they don't even understand.
Yeah, that is not love. Me, honestly, that is not love to me.
Okay.
Parents who overfeed their kids. Yeah, the baby is young, but hata kanashindwa kutembea. No. It's not good. I know unampenda, you don't want the baby to starve. You want the baby to be healthy and to look nice all the time and always to get what they need all the time. But it's not proper to overfeed them. Yeah? So, before you get kids, you have to think about these things. And you have to think about them very seriously. And if you have already gotten kids, then there's no way around it. You must think about these things, because we don't want to have traumatized children. We don't want to have kids that are not, confident in themselves. Yeah, you have to think critically about what you are doing. Oh, by the way, tutafikia hiyo point, nimekumbuka something else. I hope the point will not disappear.
What is the point? So that I remember.
No, if I tell you, I've told them. Unless I whisper in your ears. So, at least ensure your kids are a step better than you. Otherwise, you're just making them into what you are. Yeah? As a parent, you have to ensure that you're always helping your kids become better than you. Now, if there's something you used to do and it hurt you in a particular way, you teach them not to go that route. Because if they go, they're gonna get hurt. So the idea of the kids being better than you, now that is where it comes in. Like,
but I feel like every parent wants their children to be better.
Every parent.
Most parents.
Yeah. Most parents. We are talking about the other few that don't. It's like me. I don't know. Maybe they have problems. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what could be affecting them. Yeah. So there's no point of bringing up a child with the same things that without even teaching them anything.
Yeah.
There's no point. Or teaching them only the things that you don't teach them, the things that you learned along the way. You just maybe even leaving them to figure it for themselves, which is okay. But now that's gonna take long, and maybe it can be detrimental to the children. Yeah. So what we were saying is kids need a friend, according to me. Don't think of yourself as parent. They have to follow what parent says. How about you just release them in your head? I know you want them to be safe. I know you want them to be cautious all the time. I know you want to show them the way. You want to show them the right things to do. But you have to have an understanding that these are also independent people. Even if they are a few months old, there's a way they can communicate. Even a 6 months old kid can communicate by crying. Yeah? They communicate by crying, you tend to them. Now when they become 1 year, they can now talk.
Yes.
They can talk, they can tell you what they need. I think the best thing to do is to listen.
Listen to them.
Listen to them. Don't tell them, no, what are you saying? Our parents were not listening to us.
Maybe they are going through their own stuff.
Yeah, but
stress.
It does not justify. Yeah, it does not justify that you should come and now stress the child. You should have stayed without a child. You stress yourself by yourself. The day you feel like you're patient enough to have a child who has not done anything, who is innocent, yeah, you now get that child that time.
Na kama alikuja kama by mistake.
Sasa hapo kwa mistake is now what we will look at, because some parents are toxic because they did not even plan for the child.
Yep.
So they didn't think about what is required, yeah, to be with a child and bring up a child and give satisfactorily raise a child. These are just the basics. We are not saying anybody is a bad parent. Parenting is tough, very tough. You're doing a job that nobody has done because every child is different. Even if you have 12 children, all those 12 children are not the same.
Yeah.
Every time you have a child, you are now in a new world, like, okay, who are you? Show me what you got. Because, you don't know this child. Yeah? Yeah. So, yeah, that is what I was basically saying. Yeah? So, now, you treat kids the way you'd like to be treated. Yeah. If you don't like to be shouted at,
stop shouting at them.
Good. If you don't like to be yelled at,
they're humans.
Don't yell. No matter how you feel like that you're the parent, you should don't do that. Cause the child you're not going to be happy if that child shouts at you. Like, we never think about it like that. Yeah, parents just think they have a right to just do anything they want to do because you're their child.
They are the lions in the home.
No.
And the lionesses.
No. That is wrong.
Yeah.
Very wrong, and nobody should be doing that. So the only advantage you have over your children, is the fact that they are just a human being like you. They have what you breathe, they breathe. What you eat, they can eat. They can basically survive by themselves. Yeah. But now, because you are their caregiver, yeah, you're the first person that is with them the minute they are born, from a very young age. You naturally have, even without asking the government to make you do it, you naturally, the parent instinct, especially mothers, you naturally know you have to lead this child. Yeah. Now the only advantage you have over your child, yeah, is the fact that you got here before them. So what you have over them is experience.
Yeah.
You have more experience than them, and now that is where,
But the protective parents with the experience, some feel like there are those things that they should have been warned before, and they experienced, so they always want to protect their children from experiencing that.
It's okay, no problem with by being protective to your children. I think it's a natural thing to do, just not controlling. There's a difference between protecting and controlling, and also poisoning. Some people will just come and tell you, don't talk to those kids, in fact hate them, you must never even say hi to them because they are witches. So
And don't trust
a child is a
so-and-so.
witch.
Yeah.
So how is a young child a witch? Anyway, maybe their parent is a witch, so they are connected also. They're in the same line of connection and they are all witches. Okay, that child doesn't even know what being a witch is. It's so toxic. Anyway, it's their family dynamics. What can we do? So you have to understand that this child you've given birth to is a human being like you. Yeah, there's no much difference. You can't even go on saying that your child is more intelligent, that you are more intelligent than your child. How do you know that? Only time can tell.
Yep.
Yeah, just because you can teach them things now doesn't mean you are more intelligent than them. Over time is gonna change those things. So I believe the best thing to do is to bring up to be this child's friend, yeah, companion, someone to walk with in life. Because in any case, from the perspective of a child, they are seeing this big giant. Kids are very small, like they can fit here in my hands.
Yeah.
So the way we see them as really tiny, they look up and they're like, oh my God, this is a giant.
So huge, you're tall.
What animal is this? So small kids don't even know how they look. So do I look like this thing, or why is it taking care of me? Yeah, or why is it whatever? So now kids look up to the parents for that guidance. Yeah, they know, this thing it feeds me, gives me a place to sleep, it takes care of me. When I cry, they come. So that means there must be, maybe I'm their pet. I would like to get into
the
kids'
mind of
brains.
their brain.
Yeah, and just see what
they see. Actually, I remember there was a girl that I know. She was like, I want to be tall and big like mommy. And you were like, she observes that, yeah?
Of course.
She want to be big.
Of course. Yeah. By the way,
now you have to explain to the child that it's going to take some time. She's going to be big eventually. But yeah, she needs to just know that it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. So there's this series that I was thinking of, I was watching, and it's like it got animated. They just did season 1. Yeah. It's called Being You.
Yeah.
You remember that? It's called Being You. I believe every parent should watch that series. It explains what the kid is thinking from the day they are born. In fact, from the day they are conceived.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was I saying?
You were saying about watching Being You. And every parent should
watching Being I told you guys about my memory. Okay, we got distracted a bit. So yeah, Being You is a nice series. It shows you from the day the baby is conceived. That season 1 goes all the way to, I think, when the baby is around 5 years. Yeah, and it is really well detailed. Like there's ground. They did ground even like.
Hi guys, we're back. Yes, we're back. Mnaendeleaje tena? Tumerudi.
Kwani tulikuwa tumeenda wapi? Hakuna mahali tulikuwa tumeenda sisi.
Kama ilifanya ile kitu.
Siwacha nikufunikieni princess anachoma na jua. Rudi nyuma. Rudi nichomwa juu yako. Jesus died for your sin, now I die for your good skin. Yeah? Okay. Fine. Kaa hapo nichomwe wewe ukwe.
Ninyi watu si mnajua venye jua inawaka. Hey, it is hot.
Hii alonino inawaka.
It is hot.
Hey.
Hii inaweza hata kupikia chakula.
So, we went digging and we looked for qualities of a good parent. Yeah. And the first one I saw was respecting, good parents respect their children's boundaries unless there's a serious situation that requires their attention. Yeah. Hapo kwa boundaries.
Quality number one of a good parent, I think it's more of intentionally wanting to be a parent.
Yeah.
You have to want to be a parent, because if you want to be a parent, you want the best for that child. Lazima utake hapo, mimi nataka kuwa mzazi.
Yes.
And God gives you or gives you a baby.
So you have to consciously make a decision to have a child.
Yes. Because if it starts with, I wasn't ready for this child, you start being in denial. You didn't want that child in the first place. So you have to condition yourself now to force yourself to be someone you are not ready for. And you may not be able to do a good job. So you have to start by wanting to be a good parent.
What other quality of a good parent fee?
Choosing, always knowing that you brought this child on earth and they didn't tell you, they didn't ask you to bring them.
Yes.
So always wanting and choosing the best for them. You know, if there are just decisions you have to change to take care of your child, you have to do that.
Yeah.
Give them a good environment to grow up in, because if you want a child, you have to give them a very secure environment, ensuring that the people that are around your children are safe. Yeah, they're not gonna spoil the children, because you have to be in a good neighborhood. Well, not, but ensure, be cautious of the people that are around your child. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Another one.
The other one is what? Just being secure. Just be secure. Be a secure parent to start with.
Yeah.
Because if you are anxious, we talked about the attachment styles. If you have all the anxious, avoidant, that is what you're gonna teach your child. And from you may think it's a good thing, because maybe you don't know. That is what you knew.
Yeah.
And they say every parent does the best thing they knew how.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you may pass this thing to a child, and if this child doesn't realize your pattern, they also pass that and that. But it is important to first be a secure parent, be able to set boundaries, be able to decide, make decisions, and allow your children to make decisions for themselves. Let them be free. Give them the free will to know that they can make decisions for themselves. They're like, Mommy, I want this. Allow that child to want what they want, as long as it's not harming them. Stop making them feel like their decisions or their feelings are not right. If you have to correct them, you can correct them in a better way. Not abusive way. You don't have to chapa mtoto, because ukimchapa atakuwa they'll just close down. They're like, every time I say this to mommy, you never do that, and that's not a good thing also.
So the qualities of a good parents, according to my notebook of memory, I know them. I just knew I was gonna forget these points. There are so many.
Okay.
So you always put them first. Put their needs first. Show them that you put them first. But at the same time, it doesn't mean you forget yourself. You're just saying, now that they're in your life, you chose to have these people, these tiny human beings. Please put them first. Always look at their needs. But you see, mothers do that so effortlessly. 90% of mothers. Because our mothers don't have the motherly instinct, by the way.
But mostly they say when you get a baby, kilo kidogo inakujanga.
Yeah, most in fact, almost 99%, but there's those that don't care. there's those that will leave that tiny baby with their grandmother, and they just got the baby, guys. So you love and provide for their needs. That is what a good parent does. And those needs are both emotional, physical, mental, all those needs you provide for them. You do all you can to raise them in a happy and a healthy environment, like you said. Yeah, no toxic things, no toxic people around. You know, if you know some people, but at the same time, but I'll raise that point next, just in my next point. So a good parent is basically attentive. They are paying attention to their child, you know. They are not dismissing them. They are not telling them, you know, those bad things. But then I have a question. A kid can grow in a healthy environment. The parent has done everything to ensure that this kid does not face any issues, or you know, they have done everything that a parent needs to do. But you find this kid is still broken, or this kid is broken in a way, especially especially when they leave the environment, the home environment. You find this kid maybe went to school, they got bullied, you know, they didn't know there's toxic people out there. And by the way, there's nothing, you can't protect your kids from human beings. They're gonna interact. We are a society, and society, we stay together. We are a community. As much as we are strangers, we are still together.
But do you know that everything to you, everything that you can decide that you're a parent and you did everything that you knew was best for this child, but the everything was not everything to the child,
or was even not right.
It was not even right. According to you, you feel like you did the best thing you knew how, and you advised this child, you were there for them, they never left school, you affirmed them at some point, but it wasn't the right thing to do in some situations.
And that is what I was saying. Sometimes these toxic parents don't even know they are toxic. It's because also that is what they were raised. And most times they are like, even my parent did this and this, but hey guys, that's 1951. This is 2023. You have to change. You have to evolve. You can't do things. Otherwise, we would never want to develop anything. We would never want to develop phones. We would stay without phones. Tungekaa tule tuakamba hivi or nothing. We just use pigeons to go invite people for weddings or smoke signals. I mean, we can get stuck there.
Alafu there's this thing of most of the parents, everybody that has been brought up by your parents, somehow you adopted to some toxicity. Some patterns that didn't work for you. And then kuna wazazi, they grew up saying, I don't want my child to suffer the way I suffered. I don't want this to happen to my child. And instead of helping these children to know how they can be able to cope if that situation happens, you protect them fully. So they never know how to even protect themselves.
You don't even
know anything.
Expose them to such a situation so that they can understand.
So they are very prone to not being able to survive without you. They feel like they need their parents to make decisions. They feel their parents to even say anything, to choose the friends for them. You know, mommy is this, I have this friend, and mommy has to validate, and affirm if those friends are good. And there's also that.
So these kids that you raise them well, they are in a good environment. They never lacked anything. They were loved well. They were, they are not even, they are not insecure. They are securely, they have this securely attachment, They are okay, they are safe, they are flourishing. But at the same time, you find maybe the kid is now broken because of the people they have met outside. Somebody bullied them, maybe their teacher told them, mwalimu wa maths.
Ulisema atuendi
mwalimu wa maths, hapa ni wapi?
Hapa ni wapi?
Hapa ni kwa ukuta, by the way. It's like mwalimu wa maths ulikuwa right.
Mimi kwanza mwalimu wa maths. A time is coming. Mwalimu wa math ulisema.
Mimi niko na shida na wangu wa biology. Biology.
Wangu wa math aliniita Nduruma Mufuru. Guys, do you know what that means? For those who don't understand French, Nduruma Mufuru is French.
Durumas Mufurus.
You are so durums.
I have a problem with my biology teacher because when he was teaching us, yeah, he was telling us, you know, you grow, you become a young girl, you get, you know, young girls get boobs, you know, their hips start widening.
He was on. Sorry. Okay, what happened? That feels so personal. What happened?
No. First of all, ni widening.
Oh,
Widening.
actually, I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear me,
Because
Sharab.
I was laughing.
Yeah, I have to shut up because I'm Kiembu. That is how you get to know. You I don't have to introduce myself as a Mwembu. Give me 3 seconds, 3 minutes.
So what happened to mwalimu wa biology? Alikwambiaje?
She said our hips will be widening, you know, when you're a teenager. Hey, my friend,
It's a scam.
19, nothing. 20 years, nothing. 24, wapi. 28, no. No. My biology teacher. Mimi, I have issues with you. Me, I don't even have issues with my maths teacher. I'd already made up my mind. I'd already accepted. I'd already accepted that I'm not good at maths. Lakini hapo biology ulinikosea sana. You know, I was wondering 28 what.
Maybe it was your hips that were refusing.
But he shouldn't have said every girl.
Oh,
He should have said
some
some.
girls. Where?
Eh? We had to go buy hips on River Road. In River Road because it wasn't, hips were not.
Mwalimu wa biology alikuchocha.
Because mwalimu wa biology, we.
Chocha vicho.
Ulinichocha sa kala nimepitia kimeniramba. So how do you help your kids around toxic people? When you have a nice environment at home, but now out there, of course, they are gonna meet. It's like guaranteed for most kids.
Yeah.
Although some schools, and sure, you know, that doesn't happen. But at the same time, they'll leave school. There's places maybe they'll find themselves by themselves.
Yeah.
So how do you help a child, your own child, to get over toxic people? I have some points.
Okay.
One, you teach the kids to avoid toxic people, those toxic people. Yeah. Number 2, you teach the kid to stand up for themselves. In fact, that should be number 3. The first number
That should
one.
be number 1. Stand
The
up
first-
for yourself.
No, the first number 1 is self-awareness.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Make sure you teach these kids, you know, you're staying with them and you
Yeah.
can see them.
Yeah.
You know their weaknesses, you know their strength. Don't tell them they're special. You see, that is now part of being a toxic parent.
You're special.
Yeah?
You're a
No child is
You
special.
know, no one
Don't
else
call them
looks like
sijui
you.
kababa kamami. Sasa umeita kijana kababa, kasichana kamami. The next child you'll call them what? Kasista, kaanti or what?
Kasweetie.
Kasweetie.
Kaswiti na kabibi.
Hey.
Hapa
No.
nje unapatana na
Don't
hakuna
give
kababa.
kids unrealistic stuff out here, by the
Yeah.
way. It's not nice. It's
Yeah.
not good.
At
Yeah.
that time, it's when
Let
they're young,
them
it's
know.
a good name.
Let them know that they have weaknesses and help them figure them out. Let them know that they have strength and help them point them out. Yeah. That is the best way to do to a child so that they can fully know themselves. You don't want to tell them they are special. They go out there, somebody points out their weakness, and now they are mad. And it's true, they have that weakness, but now they don't want to hear it, or maybe they
Yeah.
just heard it for the first time and now it's
Yeah.
frustrating.
Yeah.
Just be honest with them. Self-awareness is about fully knowing who you are. Absolutely, completely. If your child loves food, yeah, let them know that they do. If your child loves, you know, if they don't like this, or there's something that they don't do well, let them know so that you don't give them unrealistic stories or expectations. Yeah. So kajua kameenda, princess. Hey. Yeah. So after the most important thing about teaching your kids self-awareness is the fact that nobody will tell them anything. And in fact, you teach them to be confident.
Yeah.
You teach them to stand up for themselves, and you also teach them to have a thick skin. Because, you know, so that they don't just go around crying when somebody bullies them. There's some parents I see even cheering them on, their kids on when they are fighting with another kid. Eh? They're like, my son is going to win this race. Men do
Isn't that a good thing?
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it
But
is.
then men love to do that. Eh? When their sons are fighting, they don't want to separate them. They want to see kama walizaa ngongot. Mtu hawezi jipigania.
Anakimbia anaenda anajificha huko.
And the funny thing, parents are very happy when their child wins. I don't know if that's a nice way. I don't think it's a nice way.
No, at some point it is. Kuna venye nayo you'll have other children disrespecting you in a big way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to keep
if you
them,
can.
Yeah.
Acha agonge.
Exactly.
Si mzuri lakini usigonge sana.
Hata sio hivyo.
Protect yourself. Kuna watu ningeng'oa ngumi, ningeng'oa kucha lakini I was scared.
Imagine there's these parents that maybe another parent can come to their home and tell them, by the way, your child did this and this and this.
Yeah.
Instead of them finding out or trying to find out, they start beating up the child. They don't care. Then there's these parents that will be brought to them. They will be defensive.
Yes.
They don't even care what the child. My child did not do that. That is toxic. There's now these parents who will listen and decide. Yeah, and reasonably make a decision out of it. That's awesome. Yeah.
Actually, they go to an extent of even calling the other family.
Yeah.
And listening out.
Yeah.
The next time you misbehave, ukigonga meno, just know that we talked about this.
Yes. So there's many other skills that you can use to be a nice parent. I took a few notes here, and I'm just gonna mention them haraka. So if you have one or more than one child, spend quality time with each child and all of them together. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. The other point is set limits for your children. Explain to them the rules and consequences of not following them. Yeah? You have to, don't just impose rules or just assume they know the rules. You have to tell them the rules categorically, like they are. Yeah? Now from there, if they break those rules, now it's up to you to, apply the punishment method you usually use. But now it's important to let them know. Yeah, there's these parents who they don't even teach the kid what to do, then they are just wake up one day, they're like, this kid is always like this, this kid is always, what do you mean that kid is always, the kid just got here, so what do you mean they're always like that?
They're always like either you or what they are seeing or what they are trying to avoid.
Most probably you're the one that made them act the way they are acting, because if you teach a kid to be nice, chances of them being bad are very, very slim. Very slim. Slim, like absolutely hakuna. Unless also now they have those genes of being kichwa ngumu, but I don't think is there like anything like genes of being kichwa ngumu? Some people are just hard-headed for no reason.
There has to be a reason. It can never be
there's
no
a reason.
It's either, I have said, it's either they're trying to be like you, or they're trying to avoid you, or they're trying to just be something different. To be me, they're just trying to protect themselves maybe from you.
Yeah. So the next tip is treat kids with the respect you expect from them.
Yeah.
Some parents don't have that. They don't respect their kids at all. In fact, they don't think...
never respected, so...
the most common thing you hear, especially from Africa, Kenyan parents, when they do something wrong to the child, and maybe somebody else confronts them, they are like, sini mtoto wangu. Where's wako? You get your own child, go do what you... But
so it's
what
like
do you mean
justify abuse. We justify abusing kids because they are yours. So you gave birth to a child to just abuse
them. You're such a pathetic person, and if you're looking at me, shame on you. Because you that is so wrong. It's like the worst injustice.
There's a friend of mine that told me actually some women are just not meant to be mothers.
True.
Si kila mtu alichaguliwa kuwa mama.
Well, I believe if you are fertile.
Sasa kama yule mwenye aliua mtoto na akaanza kukula the Kitengela lady. So how can you justify that?
We are not okay. Mtu kama huyo sasa. But at the same time, we are so many on earth. Earth alone we are 8 billion. Kenya alone we are 50 something million. It's just not easy to trace all the mothers. Yeah, and maybe I don't know if the government has a way of tracing and ensuring that in America there's things like child welfare. Yeah, where if the neighbor hears you beating the child, they are calling 911. Here, there's nothing like that.
Because why do you think
Huh?
there's always, like, the children in children's home are always on the rise? They're always children going to children's home. Wao ni wenye wamezaliwa, someone carried that child for months.
Maybe the parents died.
Some have been abandoned. The parents
Oh yeah,
didn't die.
yeah. Some parents abandoned them. Oh, that is so sad. So sad. It's tough. So, but honestly, mimi kwa kichwa yangu nasemanga, unless you are very tiny baby, you're an infant, it's better to not have a parent than have an abusive parent or a toxic parent. You have more to deal with.
Yep.
When you have a toxic parent
It's work.
than dealing with an absent one.
It's like you come to this world to work on now having now that toxic parent.
Yeah,
Why you
because-
should not have him or them in your life?
Yeah, because it's when you have the toxic parent, later in life you're working on what the parent did to you. When you don't have a parent at all, you're now working on
On
the
what-
imagination
Yes.
of how your life would have been with the parent or the things that you missed out on. So you're not thinking abuse, insults, what.
It's actually easier
Those
to
things-
detach.
Yeah,
somehow.
those things did not happen, so you don't even know them. So the other tip is to keep control of your irritation and annoyance when the kids pressure you. You know, there's these people who yell back at children. Kwanza, there's a certain mama that I am thinking of right now. That woman yells at the children. There's a day I just stopped. I was like, so why is she yelling like that? You see, if somebody yelled at me like that, I'm just gonna get up and jump on them. Because if I'm stuck there and I can't leave, yeah, unless I can leave, I can just get out and go. I will leave the first second you yell. But now a child, they don't have anywhere to go. You're threatening them that they won't even have food that day. Now imagine the fear you're putting in this child. Anywho's, so once a child learns a skill, give them space to do it by themselves.
Yep.
That goes to very controlling parents. You don't trust your child. You don't think they can do nothing for them by themselves.
Those parents that
Stop that.
gaslight their children. Don't do that.
So controlling, and they act like the child cannot do something by themselves.
Huwezi jifanyia kitu.
They have to be there controlling, and even after they have done, it's not nice.
Yeah.
Eh?
Nothing is ever good.
Nothing is ever good enough that this kid can do.
The child start doubting themselves. They're like, am I even good enough? Do I even belong here?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Okay.
that.
Praise your kid when they do something positive.
Yep.
Encourage them when they don't do well or they don't perform well. Yeah, because most of our parents are like, ninalipa hiyo school fees yote, unaenda kulala unaenda kufukuzana tu na uko na tu vijana. They don't know, maybe you're even depressed about something else. They don't, they should consider these things. Yeah. So yeah, it's like my notes are finishing. So tell us something, Faith, about
Tabu imeisha.
tell us something about good parenting, because that is where we are.
Let's start from there. A good parent comes from God. You don't just wake up and get a good parent. Muzazi mzuri ni Mungu anapeana. And it starts from kama alilelewa vizuri, because this is a whole generation of parenting.
Yeah.
And if they were able to identify the patterns and they worked on themselves,
Yeah.
because if you're aware and you've worked on your issues, you're gonna be something.
Yeah.
Your parents, your children will be glad to have you as a child.
Yeah.
Parenting, a good parent it's like the foundation of everything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You need someone. It may not be your mom, it may not be your auntie, it may be your auntie or your uncle or whoever.
Yeah.
But as long as it's a good caregiver, you're good to go.
Yeah, because
You
kids
have
are
less
innocent.
struggles.
Yeah.
You have less emotional traumas to deal with.
Yeah.
You have less validation to seek. And you have secure somehow secure attachment styles, or even if you're not secure, you have a good parent that will identify you being avoidant and dismissive, and they're able to guide you. Actually, there are those parents that realize and they take the children to therapy. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
They pay for your
In
therapy.
fact, they even both of them go to therapy.
Yes, because they
Because
want
they want change. Yeah.
They're like, she's not, you know.
Nothing as sweet as seeing your parent being apologetic to you.
Yeah.
In fact, leave alone being apologetic, like listening,
Yes.
to comprehend, not to answer back or
Yeah.
to criticize
And not
your
to
child.
criticize you.
Yeah. It's
Or
so
to make
awesome
you
to see
doubt
your
yourself.
parents listening to you,
Yes.
to understand
Yes.
your different perspective. And because you are a human being, even if you are a child, you have a brain,
Yes.
and you have your own feelings. You can decide based on what you're thinking.
Actually, I've also found parents who keep on asking their children, you know, am I a good parent to you? You know, is there anything we need to work on?
So cute.
You know, is there anything that is troubling you? And you're able to open up, and you have this very secure emotional relationship.
Absolutely.
That bond.
I'm telling you, I don't think we can mention that lady here, but my sister, you know, us growing up was very tough. Yeah, we didn't have that complete parental guidance and all those things. We were really confused over time, and in our lives we have literally have to parent ourselves again, so that, you know, because apparently if you're not parented well, or you didn't have nice caregivers, the world will show you by how people out there will treat you, yeah, how they will react to to your energy. And you know, most times it's negative if it wasn't done right. Yeah, most times you're in problems all the time. And nobody wants a life like that. So you remember this lady from our area, actually. Yeah, when we came to Nairobi, when we were Washamba, we didn't even know what was going on. There's those two girls. Unfortunately, one girl died. May her soul rest in peace. You now know which person I'm talking about. I just can't mention her because I've not gotten permission to mention her. If she gives me, then we can mention her. But that lady, do you remember how we saw those two girls and we were like, wow, they cared about each other so much.
They used to
As we were even struggling to have a relationship.
Yes.
Yeah? Yes. Me, you would come here, I disappear. I didn't know how. I didn't know how to have a relationship with you. As long as you have eaten, I knew I could protect you like a sister. But that bond, we had to work on that, by the way. It's not like it was there all the time.
It's more of knowing that no matter what you say, it doesn't matter anyway. So sometimes you have to avoid these situations that make you open up, because you're like, it's not gonna change anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you find there are parents who have this healthy bond.
Hey, my friend.
Guys, when we say healthy,
hey, we mean healthy.
We mean healthy.
Hey, like the mom would call them, where are you, my girls? Are you okay? Do you need anything? Are you having fun? Am I in Earth?
Are you having fun?
This is Mars. Yeah. Where am I?
Do you need anything?
Are you having fun? Yeah. What time are we gonna come? I'm like, what? Yeah. Hey!
Actually, I think that's the woman I grew up aspiring, and I was like, she was my inspiration. I was like, when I grow up, I would like to be such a mom.
Yeah.
She's unaware.
Of course, she was listening to her.
And she listens.
Yeah.
And
like
she doesn't
the kid
listen
talks
to judge.
and she's listening because she wants to understand.
Yes.
She's not dismissive. Yes. She's not even, like, she's focused on that.
You're human and you have feelings and emotions. Express them, darling.
Now her kids came out as the best. If you interact, I know I can't mention which, but maybe fairly by now some people know. But if you interacted with those girls or have interacted with her girls, my goodness, like, they are the best.
Yeah.
They are, of course, from these rich families, but they are so humble. Yeah. You could not even tell.
I remember there was that time I was really...
They treat everybody
I was always
like
hiding myself. And then she called me. She was like, but where, Faith? Why are you always hiding? What's wrong with you? You need to come. And then you're like, are you calling me? You know? Are you like calling me to come there?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, you know, she would make you feel so safe. Yeah. And she would be like, you know, is there anything that is bothering you? You know, you're beautiful and you're amazing. You know, just believe. And I'm like,
like, the girl is so nice to you, so nice in a way that a lot of people that were around that area were not nice to you. In fact, most people are not usually nice. I don't know why. most of them, but there's also those ones like now those two girls that were so good. They treat everybody like a human being.
4, 5, 6.
I miss you. 7, 8, 9. I want you back. 2, 3. I love you. 4, 5, 6. I miss you. 7, 8, 9. I want you back. Da-da-da-dun-dun-dun-dun. So, woo. Yeah. So I still have notes, by the way. Let's see where we have reached. These my notes are from all over the place. Hey. You know, they were just short notes. I wasn't very, very clear about them. So I have extra points about, good parenting. And you know what it takes to be a good parent to your children. It's getting dark, so I'm going to say these ones quickly. So the first point is effective communication.
Yep.
What is effective communication to you?
Communicate effectively.
Yeah, you say something. Yeah.
Communicate effectively. And ensure the other person comprehends. You talk and you listen.
Yeah.
You ensure you talk and you just don't talk. Some people, they always say, sometimes you talk too much and you're saying nothing. Yeah. So you ensure that you talk and say something and ensure that the other person comprehends what you're saying.
And by the way,
and give you feedback based on what you've said.
I talk too much, by the way, but
you
I listen.
say something.
Yeah, I listen. Oh, say something.
Yeah,
what do you
there's talking too much, but you're saying nothing.
If I was saying nothing, these people would never
So you
follow
guys,
us.
does she talk too much and say nothing, or she says something?
Me, I just have this a small engine somewhere on my throat, somewhere here, that says talk now. And when it starts running, that's it. It's a wrap. We can't stop. I'm
But
like my
actually,
grandmother.
You talk quite some informative things.
My grandmother was talking all the time. Like, let her your mic.
Na
Let's
alikuwa anakaa
talk.
kama yeye, by the way. She looked like her, the
Kabisa.
skin color.
Yeah.
And she also had a very good.
She was a nice lady and tough. You are not going to play with her.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Anatupikia ugali.
there's that. So communication just basically means that the parent is listening. Yeah. The parent is listening to their child, and the child is also listening.
Listening.
So effective communication to me is you talk, I listen.
I listen. I give you feedback. We analyze it.
I listen, I understand, I
Yes.
comprehend.
Yes.
I respond if necessary.
Yes.
Or if you want me to respond. And I don't have to respond all the time. So I believe it is the exchange of information with a cause, really. Like you communicate, like you talk to somebody and listen to them and understand properly what they meant. Yeah, you don't just talk like the way our parents usually do. They talk to you,
Wewe nakuongelesha
unanyamaza. Nakuongelesha ujibu. Nakari. Nakuongelesha unaniongelesha.
Guys, that was our mother.
Nakari. Nakari. Mimi unanyamazia. Haya.
Jaribu kurudisha.
Unasema nini?
Jaribu.
Unaongea.
Jaribu kurudisha.
You didn't even know what they want. Oh my God.
Ukiongea ni
You're in
shida.
trouble.
Ukinyamaza ni shida. So you better just
You just stay there in the middle. I think you just show up and just
ukikubali umekosa ni shida pia.
So yeah, it's very important to have a communication. Let the child ensure. The thing about having effective communication is the child learns to communicate with you also.
Yeah.
And because they know how to communicate with you, they easily tell you things. So they easily maneuver life.
Yeah.
If you don't listen, what is the point of the child telling you? And by the way, kids know. They know the parent that
And
doesn't
actually, there's
listen.
something you were telling me the other day of how having secure parents, your life just starts early. You have less problems.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have less traumas to heal. You have better relationships earlier.
Yeah.
You're able to believe in yourself and chase your dreams and just go get it early.
Yeah. So don't judge your friends who are trying to get up. My God, you can even be a self-aware at 45. You find somebody maybe has achieved money-wise, but at the same time, they are not to live a comfortable life because, you know, they still have that issue that is bugging them. Yeah. So yeah, it's just necessary to have good communication. The other one is patience. You know, parenting can be very exhausting and frustrating. Tiresome. It's an everyday job. Yeah, you don't know what your kid will do tomorrow or what can happen. So you're constantly scared, anxiety, stressed, you know, pressure. It's understandable. Please relax, chill a bit. Take what makes you feel nice. If it's tea,
Drink
take your
some
tea.
water.
Drink your water,
Some
watch your
wine.
movies, anything that makes you calm down, because you know you have to resume. When the child kunywa energy drink.
But parenting is not
Kunywa energy
easy.
drink.
For the parents, kudos. It's not easy.
You have to continue, darling.
tomorrow.
There's no any other way around it. Hey. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you put up with bad behavior. If a kid has bad behavior, you have to correct them.
Yeah.
Now the other one is being supportive. Really, you know, you support your kids through all the challenges that they are going through. The other one is being consistent, and that is very important, especially in matters like protection. Anything that you're doing as a parent to this child that is beneficial, not abusing them. Yeah, like, you know, everything, you just stay consistent, because kids thrive in knowing that back in mind, my mama is gonna have my back no matter what.
Yep.
And the only way, you don't tell them that you're gonna have their back, you show them, so the kids will know which parent is not there. Even if you tell them what they can see, they'll know, dad just tells stories of being there for me, he never shows up.
Actually, daddy never provides. You know,
Yeah.
even if I tell dad, he never does anything.
Yeah. So make sure you follow through with every expectation you set for this child. If you show them that you're gonna be there for them, please stick to that. Be consistent. That is awesome. You're the bestest of the bestest parent around.
Yep.
Number 2, be firm. Yeah, which means set boundaries, set rules, but also ensure that your child faces the consequences of breaking those boundaries and rules. Don't just let them be a wayward child. You have to be firm. Disciplining them, mimi ninasema, is very important. Now, in African setting, kids are beaten with sticks, they are slippers, with shoes. Some are beaten with that plastic thing that does this. You're beaten properly, you're beaten. Yeah, so, yeah. So I don't think that's a nice thing to do. I don't
So
think
how do you think they should display that?
there's so many things you can do. You can deny them something they wanted. They'll get the pain. They'll feel it. There's some parents that do that. Putting the child on the corner is what? What is that called?
I don't know.
Stay on the corner because you did what? It's like prison.
Yeah.
It's like denying them freedom to do anything. You know, and
Isn't
being
that
denied,
conditional love? And don't you think that's toxic also?
being denied freedom is
Yeah, because telling a child to stay somewhere for a specific time, it's like if they don't do that,
facing the wall.
yeah, and they should not even cry.
You know, it's one thing to tell them go to your room.
Yeah.
In their room,
It's
they know they can't
grounding,
leave the
actually.
room,
You're
but there's
grounded.
some things they can do
Yeah.
in their room. But now telling them to face the wall,
Military. Maybe it's good.
that is too much. No, I don't think
At some
it's good.
point,
Anyway, maybe you want to toughen your child. Who are we not to tell you not to toughen them? Yeah? Maybe you can buy them leather clothes so that they can stay tough. You can feed them tough food. You
kula
can
mahindi.
no
Githeri.
termites. Unamwekea termite hapo live, anauma. Unajua sasa huyo ako tough. Unamwambia aende apigane na simba, aleta masikio ya simba.
But parenting is different, and every child turns out different actually.
Yeah, every child is of course different,
Yeah.
because they are all different.
Yeah.
No child is the same. Even twins, they have some difference.
But also parenting plays quite some role
Yeah.
in the outcome.
So be fair, set good examples. Yeah. don't do one thing, then you expect your child to do something else. Surely they can see you. They can see you eating that unhealthy meal. They can see you yelling at somebody. They can see you insulting. They can see you doing all those bad things. And they are going to do it because anyway, mommy does it.
Yeah.
So why not do it? Absolutely. So be a good role model. Be honest, because you also expect those kids to be honest to you. Be involved in your child's affairs. Make sure you spend time with them. Get to understand everything that is happening around your child. Yeah. So now we have gotten to the point that we wanted to get to. Finally, toxic parents. What are the qualities, characteristics? How do toxic parents behave?
Narcissistic. Utachapwa.
Well, and they act like they are doing you a favor.
Yeah, they are like, ningekuacha ukufe.
ati kama ningekuacha ukiwa katoto
Ukulwe na
kadogo, kulwa na
mchwa.
wadudu na mchwa.
Yeah. So
like,
they make you feel like it's a favor. It's
so
like,
why didn't you throw me? The government would have gotten me, and
Yeah.
I would been taken to the children's home,
Yeah.
and I would have been brought up
it's
well.
a victim way.
You know, it's
of
like
being a parent.
tripping this child, manipulating them into doing what you
Some
want
form of,
just because you gave birth to them.
Yep.
It's not nice. It's not nice at all.
So the roles change. So it's not about your mom anymore or your dad. It's now about you. You're the problem.
You're the problem.
They are not the problem. For them, they did
If
you a
it
favor.
weren't for me, I already
they
paid
did
all
you a
everything
favor,
that I
actually.
needed to pay.
Yeah.
I bought you food, I bought you clothes, I bought you everything you wanted.
And you should listen and call. When they call, you just need to jump.
And because I did everything that you needed to grow up, you must do what I need you
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
Now you become their slave. They forget you're an independent human being
Yeah.
with your own brain, body, and everything else. As much as they are providing for you, it doesn't mean you don't deserve good treatment just because they are doing it for you. Then if it was such a problem, why did you give birth to me? You should have stayed. Me, I didn't want any favors. I was okay living there in oblivion, wherever I was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can leave you just the way your other parents left you.
You see, you should have left them. I don't like those statements from parents. By the way, it's so toxic.
Yeah.
You people need to stop. Because imagine now we've gotten children, your grandchildren, and we are there telling them, if it wasn't for me, you'd have been eaten by some rats. I would never tell that to my child. Why would I tell that to my child? First of all, I made a decision to have you. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, everything, kila kitu was a decision that I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
So, toxic parents is that one. Two, they are verbally and emotionally abusive. You see those parents that insult their children. They call you names. They put you down. They make you feel like you're nothing. Yeah? They tell you, if it wasn't for me, you would be nowhere. So you start feeling like a nobody. What else do they say?
You don't think. You don't have a think. You
My
cannot
God.
think for yourself.
It's not even funny.
It's not funny. You don't know. You cannot think for yourself.
You don't think.
That
Imagine
has to be. That was here because I've had that several times.
that you're so stupid.
You cannot think for yourself. And actually, imagine this is a small child you're telling.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell do you
Like-
mean? Why can't you teach me?
Yeah.
Was I supposed to be born with all those things?
And actually, these parents, they don't even listen. They think they're the smartest.
Yeah.
And now the child, you're stupid. You
Yeah.
can't think for
You
yourself.
don't know anything. Kana kanyigeta kandigo tiyo.
You don't know anything.
As if you didn't call it tiyo when you were small. Now I'm big, you should teach me how to call it banana vizuri.
Actually, for parents, it should be something that tuko na kitu unaweza download. You download everything that your parent knows, and then as a child, while you're growing, you can see. Uone this one I cannot take, this one and this and this. Maybe that would work.
Anyway, they manipulate you.
Yeah.
They they put you down, they belittle you, they call you names, they humiliate you. All those are so stressful to a child. If you do that to your child, you're humiliating them, ukidhani ati unafurahisha your friends, you're a one toxic parent, and you just, if you don't change, hell is waiting for you. And we are not, by the way, we are not castigating or judging anybody. We are just trying to tell you, please, if you have these qualities, just understand they are not nice. They are not nice for any child, and you need to change. You need to change.
Yep.
And become a better person. Yeah, because maybe you behave like that because of your also parents insulted you and you don't know any better. Please know better from today.
Kuna wenye wanasemanga actually hata mimi sikupendwa. I survived.
Yeah, it's not
Who am I
it's not fair, and it is not right at all now to start transferring all those things to your child. It's not fair. Understand, maybe some parents don't know, but now you need to understand, or maybe listen to your kids. They can tell you. 2, they are physically abusive and violent. They want to teach you a lesson. African parents will beat you. They'll throw this very big stick towards you. Let that stick bounce and hit them. Ha! You tried to kill me! Hey, I'm going to call elders. So what you are doing was not trying to kill me. You're hitting me physically with something, and I'm getting hurt.
Yeah.
So what do you mean? Now that hit you, now I'm trying to kill you. Because there's already this mentality that African parents don't make no mistake.
Yeah, they're perfect.
Yeah,
heroes.
they are perfect people who don't do no
Who
wrong.
know everything, and they know what is right and wrong, and you know they have to instill these old things to you, and if you don't listen, you are nyagumu.
Yeah. Now another thing that is toxic about these people is the sexual abuse. By then, that is a really serious and extreme one.
Yeah.
And that can be, that there's a legal process for that. So you past parent that is perverted, that is looking at your child funny, imagine a whole parent behaving like that. It is so traumatic. I don't even know. That's why
Hi guys, welcome back again. Karibu sana. Imekuwa usiku
wa manane,
lakini tuko hapa
usiku wa manane. So tulikuwa point number.
Hatulali. I don't know what number it was, but it was about sexual abuse.
Yeah.
Children. To watoi.
Yeah. And we were saying, well.
Are you tired? Are you hungry? What's up?
Everything. We were saying that is really bad, and if you are that kind of toxic parent, please stop. Stop. Be a nice person. And by the way, you will go to jail. Yeah? If we catch you, we take you to prison. Even if it takes how many years, you abuse that kid in silence, one day we will find out, even if it's that years, and we shall sue you because you belong to jail. It means you're selfish, you don't care about other people's feelings. I don't even know what to call you. You're a predator. You don't do that to your own children. You don't do that. It's crazy. You're nuts. I don't know even what to say. Yeah? Pedophiles. So sad.
Doesn't even make sense. How do you even do that?
How do you even think? Where do you even start thinking from?
How do you sleep at night?
They don't care because they don't have a soul. They don't even think about it. They don't even think they did anything wrong. That's why the law is there for the children. Because you need to understand what you did was bad. Yeah?
Yep.
So another thing that toxic parents do is put their needs before the needs of their children. Their children come last.
Is that narcissistic?
It's narcissistic. Yeah.
Parents.
It is. Because if you already have kids, please, as much as you need to do what you need for yourself, also look at what the kids need. It could be very important. Some even drink alcohol with the children's school fees. You see, those are the things we are talking about. They decide to do their own thing and leave the kid that needs something very important just hanging. They don't help them at all. That is so bad. Yeah. So what else do toxic parents do, Faye?
Your notes are over. They yeah,
They
we've
do
said
what?
much of it. Manipulation, abuse, neglect. You neglect your children, and you disappear. Yeah, you never show up.
Yeah.
You never care.
Yeah.
Why did you? Please don't do that. Why are you even?
Sorry, guys.
Why would you even stop creating a child if you don't want them? You know, you
Yeah.
don't have to neglect a child.
I think it's this pressure of parents telling you, have a child, have a child. You don't have to if you don't, you know, you won't care for that child. You know, especially if you're a man, you might grow. You know, men can have children at whatever age. As women, we have a limit of 45 to 50. Menopause.
So
Full stop.
Okay.
Yeah. Toxic parents are also controlling. They control you all the time. They're like, you have no independence. Anything you have to do is based around that person.
Yeah.
Like
you have to ask for permission to do everything.
And it don't
Dad
matter.
said, mommy said, mommy has to. I have to ask mommy.
Yeah.
I don't know how cool that is.
So this controlling parent, hey, actually we are tired. You can see how we are talking. These controlling parents don't even let the child be themselves. They care more about what people will think.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, you have to behave in a particular way. Yeah? And you must behave in that way or in no way.
It's a daddy's way.
So you find the kid is not being themselves. They have to follow what the parent says. Yeah? They also do harsh punishments. That is what we are talking about, them beating up their children.
Yeah.
Punishing them so harshly and like, oh, you start feeling unsafe around your parent because they are willing to put you through anything.
Yeah.
Just to punish you. Yeah. That is so wrong. So toxic parents also expect complete obedience. They don't accept anyone that is doing anything they have not said. Yeah. If you do anything contrary to what they have told you, you're in trouble. If you disagree with them, you are in trouble. Even if you're objectively disagreeing with these people, they don't care. They just want you to do what they want you to do without questions. That is so bad because, you know, sometimes you could be wrong. Fine, I'm obeying you as your child, but you know, sometimes maybe this thing is not working for
Actually,
me.
that's where I was going at because you find that some parents' advices are correct. Yeah. So that's where I was going. At what point is too much? Yeah.
What do you mean parents' advices are correct?
There's that parent that will tell you you can't do something because maybe it's the right thing to not do.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. So how much is too much?
What do you mean?
Like the control.
Now, the control is the parent telling you to do something that you clearly can see is harmful, or it's not gonna end up well, or according to the way you know. You know, some parents are so controlling. You could be a professional in a particular area, but they want to show you that they know even that, but they are wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, but they want you to do what they have told you. Now you find you're frustrated, tired. You know, you just don't want to continue with this thing because now it's like talking to a tree. You know where you're going. This is gonna take you to hell, but they don't care. You have to obey. So you just do it and it goes to hell. So healthy parents stay firm yet loving. Yeah, they accept correction in a caring way. They understand that maybe you have an opinion to put across. They listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, without necessarily, forcing you to obey everything that they say. They are toxic parents are self-absorbed. Yeah, they expect admiration from their children.
Yeah.
They expect kids to praise them and admire them. They compete with their children. Yeah. And they won't praise their children. No, it's just them who wants to be praised. And if you don't, you are in trouble with them. Like now, you've crossed, like they are gonna do something to punish you.
Yeah.
Because you crossed them. You didn't praise them. Which is not a nice thing. So they're also jealous of their children's relationships with others. There's parents like that. They are not supportive. Yeah, they can, but most times they like to be unsupportive.
Yeah.
They can support you a bit, Or when they support you, it's like forced. Yeah, it's like you're getting it from them. But yeah, that is so toxic. Now they cross boundaries. They don't care, they just come get into your business. They'll get into your room without your permission. Yeah? And frisk it upside down. Well, I'm not saying they shouldn't. Maybe they have realized you're doing drugs and now they want to catch you.
Yeah.
That's okay. But at the same time, that thing of now you don't value your child's privacy is not good. Yeah? They just do whatever they want just because you are under their roof. That's why we were, as Africans, we used to find it interesting that an American parent will request for permission to get into their child's room.
Hi.
Hey, here they don't do that. They go through.
How can I request
they even have a
permission
spare
in my own home, in my own house?
They even have a
Ask for
spare to your
permission.
room. They will just go in and they will just go in and do whatever they want to do. Others will just get into your bag. They will just go through your stuff. They will get through your phone. Yani, it's like you don't have a life. It's like you're not a person by yourself, which is very bad. Guys, please just stop doing that. They take out their emotions and anger on their children.
The frustration.
This kid didn't have anything to do with whatever is making you angry. And I believe the best thing to do is just let the kid know that you're not in a good mood. It's just so easy. Tell them you're not in a good mood and you might need some space. It's so easy. They're just gonna give you space. You go to your room, calm down, then we can talk later when you're okay. Instead of now stressing me, insulting me and all those things just because you're stressed. It's not fair at all. They don't easily take criticism. They are easily offended.
Yeah, you can't call your parents out.
You can't.
It's disrespectful.
You're being disrespectful. Watoto hamna adabu siku hizi.
That girl is so disrespectful.
How dare she
Who does
even
she think
confront
she is?
me? How dare she even, think she can do something like that? Yani, and you're telling them the truth.
And actually, at that point, you may not even be disrespectful. They're just trying to not accept their own mistakes.
And by the way, these people, you find them even in matatus. They are so rude. These toxic parents, they are rude everywhere.
Yeah.
They want special treatment, yet treat people. I don't know what made them think by being parents they are gods who must be worshipped. No, we will also be parents. Please teach us how to be good parents.
Actually, mostly it comes in some families where the parents are very, very financially okay. So they have this control over everything. Yeah, that also. So they have to say everything and you cannot tell them anything because they are used to doing that at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just call you names. They just treat their workers badly or anybody around them, and they walk around feeling like they're gods. So and in their house, you have to worship your dad.
Yeah.
Or else,
whatever dad says goes.
Pocket money is not gonna come.
You're not getting pocket money.
School fees is not gonna pay.
Yeah, you can as well leave my compound, by the way.
Yes.
Like, you try to correct the parent, there's a punishment coming.
Actually, they always make sure they take something that you want.
They always go for what you need. They always go for the vulnerable spot.
Yes.
Yeah? I wonder for what? For what? For what
you
purpose?
To feel that they are important in your life and
what do
for
you mean?
To appreciate them
I can
more.
as well go out there, suffer for some years, then get my money right.
Yes.
Are you going to control me from there?
But before you get there, you have learned to depend on your parents, you have that codependency.
But some don't even change. Even after you've left the compound, you've gone and stayed away from them, they will still be toxic to you from that distance. Yeah, maybe they will try to stay away from you now to show you the importance in your life.
And they'll be waiting for you to come back.
Yeah, they know you suffer. They'll never encourage you to be a better person.
In their minds, they're like, you cannot go anywhere without me. It's not for me.
That's
it's
crazy.
What you're doing.
Yeah, that's madness, by the way. You need to go to the hospital if you're like that, by the way. You need to be checked because that's not normal. You can do that to people, other people you're competing with, but your children, you don't do that to your children. I don't know. Toxicity is something hard that is hard to explain. Like we said, maybe they got the kid when they were not ready.
Yeah.
They didn't even understand parenthood. They didn't even appreciate or take time to learn what they need to do. Maybe they are nuts. They're insane.
Yeah, most of the time I always say, if you're a parent and you find that you can't let go of your children and you feel you're so controlling, there's just unresolved issues around you.
It is
serious
you.
Unresolved
It has nothing
issues.
to do with the children.
And you have to heal. Please
You have to heal.
Please heal your generation, because you need to. It
you
is
have
important.
to. Otherwise, you're gonna spend the rest of your life living some really pathetic life.
Yeah.
You're controlling everyone around you. People are not breathing around you. You know.
Why should you breathe?
No. I believe life should not be like that. Even if it's because you're a boss.
Yeah.
And no, there's just some point that gets that now you have to ease up. Honestly. Yeah. So they this is interesting. So they shame their children about private matters.
Private matters.
Yeah.
Like
maybe you had maybe an interesting breakup with your boyfriend. They go telling everybody. Maybe you failed an exam.
Yeah, I've seen
they
that.
They look for the slightest chance to embarrass you.
Yeah.
And they say that
in front of people.
Yeah.
Even relationships, there are relationships like that. You will be maybe going through something that is quite intimate to you, and then your partner will be like, tell us about that thing. You know, how are you coping with that? And now they just want you to be ashamed. And you know,
now that's a
will start
narcissistic
judging
partner.
you, and they'll be like, you know, your wife is quite sensitive. You know, there's that.
Yeah. So it's not nice. Stop embarrassing people. That is mannerless. Yeah, stop embarrassing your children. Stop pointing out their weaknesses in front of people. It's okay. They know they exist, but what's the point of telling people, especially people who don't know?
And they're not gonna do anything about it, actually.
Yeah, they're just gonna feel less, and you know, it's part of belittling and making the person feel less, like they're not, you know. Yeah, they overly criticize their children.
They always want to appear how they do the best for their children.
Yet the children are
the children are the ones that are just being.
They don't appreciate.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, I have done this and this for you. You don't appreciate. You don't. Yani, now imagine such a person. Can you sit them down and tell them, by the way, it's okay, you did me for me all those things. Now, what if God came to your life and started telling you, I gave you life, I am the reason you're breathing, I'm the reason you're this, I'm the reason, in fact, I can cut off your oxygen.
It's the ego. Yeah? According to them, they don't think.
So how would they feel if that happened to them?
They wouldn't feel, because they have detached from their emotions. That's how they cope.
Cool, then don't come to me with that nonsense, because I'm going to deal with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where now standing up for yourself comes in. Yeah. You stand up for yourself whether they agree or they don't. Because nobody wants to live that kind of life. Everybody wants to be happy. And now if everything is going to be around whatever you say, then you can stay far away from me. Because I don't see how we are benefiting each other. It's not helpful, it's not healthy, it's not good. I wish you can change. Now if you can't change, then I don't know. You just live like that. There's nothing we can do. Judgment in heaven or in hell, wherever. Of importance is maybe they are thriving in that pathetic life. Maybe they are happy to be like that. But I don't think anybody can be. And because of criticizing children this much, children learn how to not open up to their parents.
Yeah.
They just hide things. Now they don't deal with things the way they, you know, they're just scared.